Log recording 4:13 in the morning West Coast time. It's still the 22nd of February 2024. The Weaver Agency, Roseman, California. Not alive, not awake, and definitely not here, my fellow zombies. I should be getting those kind of shirts that has Batman symbols on the damn thing. It'd be a dark night myself sometimes. I worry about some of the people I keep coming across on social media, and I also try to talk about other people I'm coming across in my life. You know, I valued myself a long time ago, growing up as a kid, of maybe being a storyteller of sorts. I wanted to be like some of those authors I've read that enriched my lives a great deal from across the seas, but also to the American shores. Doesn't make me uh, a professor level, shall we say. Now, some authors I had read, and I looked at their writing styles, and I looked at their characters, and I'm like rich and deep and colorful. I like those characters. I like them coming across in my head. I could actually see them there. And to write stories like that, I still need a hell of a lot of work. But I don't know. I may have done my own thing here by doing video. I never did think I'd be putting myself on a damn camera and say, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to talk about that. Because of what? Because of legacy? Because of memory? Because of ego? Because of profiteering? Because of something? I'm telling my stories. I'm trying to get my memories out. I'm trying to get my stories out. Just if the family wanted to learn about me, fine. Here's the stories. What's going on? You don't like it? Okay, fine. But if you do like it, listen on. If you're wondering what I'm going to be saying, pounding my uh, pounding on something, trying to get a point across. Sorry, I'm not that way. You're going to be thinking I'm going to be doing a backstabbing routine. Now, unless you want to look at it that way, I try to understand it. Every time I keep doing my videos, I do a story. I'm a storyteller. I talk about my life. I talk about my experiences. I haven't talked about the books I've read much. And this video is going out to a friend of mine on the East Coast. Seems to be having a bit of a issue of his own out there. He thinks people are more dark and moody instead of being helpful in commentary. So, a friend of mine, artist recovery slash Daryl P. Hang in there, pal. We're doing these things because we're storytellers. We tell stories. We're telling about our lives, what we observed, what we're going through. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't find any shame. I see on the corporate media and in the independents, they're laughing, they're scratching their heads, they're trying to find fault with anything and trying to laugh it out. I see the damn things and I call them on the damn shit, and they don't give a shit. So I deal with my own. I see other people just going after each other left and right. They don't want to tell stories. They want to tell ego. My ego is better than your ego. Okay, have fun with your ego. Go, go, go. Me on the other hand, we gotta tell stories. We gotta tell what's like. From our friend across the way, he talks about recovery. I talk about it from time to time. What's it like for me being in recovery? Roller coaster. Dark and moody in dealing with the things I've dealt with. It's no wonder I equate myself more with a Batman than I do with a Superman. I like both characters. I read the comics about the Justice League. I saw the cartoons about them. The Super Friends, the Challenge of the Super Friends, the Batman series, the Superman series that came out in the 90s, and the Justice League International, and cartoons and movies. Okay, yeah, I've seen. Ordinary people turn into extraordinary heroes one way or another, and then they keep secret identities, but they're still trying to do good. Okay, cool. Sometimes they're dark and airy, and sometimes they're very lightheaded, but they're still dealing with problems head on. Sometimes they have to find different ways around it, but they're out there in the forefront trying to tell people this is how we're trying to deal with one particular situation after another. Recovery is not exactly like that, though, but we still deal with life on life's terms. We don't want to deal with everything else. We're so we're still stuck in our own chemical or our own addiction one way or another that we can't see anything around it. Maybe at first it was fun to go through. Maybe it was a bit of a high, maybe a hype, maybe a bit of a lark, and then it starts taking its toll. And it throws us into that kind of dark world that we can't get out of. We look at everybody else and wondering how come people are after us. How come even people are trying to stick out the hand seems like they're trying to come out and throttle us. Some people want to do the interdiction. I'm interfering in this particular situation because I still want to save your life. We're not seeing it that way. We're seeing this hobgoblin vision right in front of us. It's as if the DC villain Scarecrow comes out with this new and improved fear gas to screw around with our heads, screw around with our logic, that we can't see past the hallucinatory effects of this damn stuff we're hooked onto. Our brain is fried. We think we're no damn good because the universe is out to get us. And we have to keep doing more and more for survival. That sucks. And it gets to the point where some people are just not realizing that they're becoming a tornado, they're becoming a whirlwind and come into people's lives and just destroy them. And they wonder how come people are throwing their asses out. So now we get the lifelong resentments going on. And by the time we get into the recovery phase, by the time we acknowledge and admit that we are really lost and we're trying to find guideposts to help us out along the way, the fun part is trying to make amends to all those people that we made damages to and then restitutions if necessary. How do you make restitution to yourself? I had to keep asking myself that for a long while. Just how do I make restitution to my family? I mean, I'd seen my brother go through the same damn shit, but I didn't think I was going to be like that. How do I make restitution to my family? Let alone friends, let alone strangers. I held a hell of a lot of view on my brother. I held him up lofty when I was a lot younger. And then seeing him tragic, seeing him be a miserable worm, worse than Wormtail on the Lord of the Ring movie series. The Twin Towers. That guy was never redeemed. There was no redemption for that guy. He was just an agent of chaos and crap. My brother, well intentioned, was caught up on that damn stuff of his, and it took him a long while to realize he was totally out of control. He needed more help than he realized. And he needed a foundation to start building upon. Family would be it. Family was the greatest challenge. But that was just one step. He had to take many more to continue down the road of recovery. 32 years he had before he passed. He built up a legacy with people regarding his stories, regarding his actions. We worry about the instant reaction sometimes. We worry about the instant results. We're too used to instant. We're so damn used to instant, it's not even funny. Instant cameras, instant this, instant that. It has to be now, 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 now. I can't even step like I used to a long time ago. I get used to it. Fingers are all screwed up. But I live. I live. I'll talk. I'll if I can communicate one way or another, I will talk about my life. Talk about this. I hadn't done so a long while. I hadn't done so growing up as a kid. I hardly had anything else to talk to people about. Even when I went into recovery itself, I wanted to talk to people about it. And some people looked at me and thought, it's not like he's going to be a great speaker. It's like, will you shut up already? Get out the damn thing because everyone else wants to talk. Why are you taking up too much time? Because I got so much to say and I want to say it, damn it. I mean, I resented the fact that my brother kept overpowering the conversations a lot. I knew I had to get some stuff off my damn chest of what I think and what I feel. And the horrible part about this damn thing is my brother's been gone for over coming up on 6 years in this coming September. That he is not physically here to listen to all the damn stuff I've learned throughout my lifetime. It's not revenge. I just wish he learned. I just wish he heard what was going on inside of here and inside of here. But in heaven, that's the only thing he'll be able to do because he won't be able to give me the feedback necessary of what to say, of telling me, no, John, you got that wrong. No, that's how I remembered it, Dave. We had a few arguments about that one, but not full blown arguments on that shit. Or how about the stories Ma would try to tell or learn from my grandmother and then tell them to my brother and somehow getting the damn translation screwed up. So I'm stuck with tail ends and bits and pieces to talk about. And if I talk about them, I talk about them. I'm getting off my chest. And sometimes I like to relive the stories all over again, not to embellish them, but to repeat them over and over because to me it's worth repeating. People may forget. But in the land of the zeros and ones, there's not that much forgetting unless you're going to be deleting this stuff, and then you got to start from scratch all over again. So I haven't written anything in a hell of a long while, and I wish I had. I mean, made it public out there. And probably some people look at it and say, does this make sense? I can't read this damn shit in the first place. Probably not. Some of the stuff I got was copyrighted. But I just wanted to tell people my side of the story. I just wanted to tell people what was going on. Maybe somewhere in the stories that I talk about and I explain to people, maybe they'll find something that they can learn, that they can hope for, that something happens. But for me, I'm just talking out of my own damn head and my own experiences. That's all I do. I'm not I'm not sticking my hand out there to your face and say, look, I want money out of you. You pay me for my stuff I'm spewing out right now. No, that's what authors and writers do in the first place. You want that kind of publicity. You write the stuff out there to be publicized through your own self-publishing or publishing houses where people can get money off of you. And sometimes it just makes me sick to my stomach on that one, you know. Long time ago, we didn't worry about the monetary gains that we would get if we actually told our stories outright, or if we did stories outright. Mankind had a rich history at one time in life of just remembering all those stories in his head and had to repeat them again and again and again for future generations, for them to repeat it, for them to repeat it, for them to repeat it, over and over and over again. But there was like, well, where's my money? Where's my pieces of eight on this one? Where's my pieces of silver on this one? You owe me! Dude, we're in the BC right now. And you're doing this? Yeah, you owe me. Why? Because they say so. Crazy, ain't it? But I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it for legacy. I'm doing to help me remember a few things. I'll be miserable enough. I'll be downright depressed as hell. But even in that matter, if I'm going to be helping people one way or another, then I'm helping people one way or another. And if I'm insulting a hell of a lot of people, I know that too. That's why I kind of tended to go for the character of Batman instead of Superman. Superman, he wants to be all public because he's sunny and bright disposition. He lives by the sun, he lives by the light. And Batman lives by the dark, he lives by the shadow. His life was all about that growing up. You're going to fight the shadows, you got to become part of it. You got to understand it, you got to be it. And then again, you got to fight like hell with your own damn light because you want that light to shine out more and more. But look at Superman, it's like, oh my God. I don't know, I think I tended to more like Bruce Wayne in this character. Not the rich portion of it, but a tragedy. Tragedy that turns him into a hero. And he forces himself through a lot of challenges to become that hero. He's doing it to protect his city, which is his home, his legacy. Superman tries to protect the world, but Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, looks at Gotham as his world. But then again, he sees the world from the outside invading his own town, so he's got to he's got to force himself out and get out there. Speaking of which, I got to do that to myself. My own roach cave. I don't have any bats. Messy sometimes. But anyway, that's how things are going this morning. It's 4:30. I'm crawling back to bed to sleep. Time to hibernate.